Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing today on this wonderful Sunday evening? Looking a little cloudy for us now. It was sunny and nice and a little bit breezy, but it was breezy earlier today, so I kind of already knew we was gonna get like a slight storm or some rain. That's no big deal. Finally got all my grass cut and stuff like that. Got my yard cut and stuff like that. So that's a good thing. But I have to worry about it raining and growing higher than what it was. So now I can start off fresh. So having 4.5 acres is not easy to cut in one day, especially when you have a little L118 John Deere riding more tractor. Hope everybody's had a positive weekend. Hope everybody's having a positive day. Like I always say in a lot of beginning of my videos, hope everybody can be positive, think positive, do positive, and get positive results. Our positive vibes can help other people that we don't know what their situations are. We don't know what they're going through. So our positive vibes could really rub off on them, and it could really help them out, whatever situation they're in. So always remember, try to be as kind as you can to people. We never know what somebody's got going on, and just be positive as you can. Think positive, be positive, do positive, get positive results, give all positive vibes, and life will be great. Life will be good, man. The more positive you are, the better your life will be. You try to always take the positive out of everything, and just try to keep rolling with it. And again, the positive vibes that we give off to people really help them out. Really does help them out more than we know it does. So, okay, so you guys, as a lot of you know, Jasmine's car, it went down on us at this last event up at Buzz Creek, Maryland for Ford Fever Classic. We were doing some test runs on Friday night, and what happened was it lost traction on the first pass, run good on the second pass, lost traction again on the third pass. When it lost traction on the third pass, when she come around the return road, of course, the transmission started making noise, and then she called me on the phone and said it wouldn't move. So I already knew. I was like, great, something's definitely up. So when I happened to open the hood and look, she had blew a little small hole in the bell housing area, right around the differential area, and she blew a hole like right around this area here. And this is the bell housing for a F4EAT transmission, automatic. That's what's in her car. So yeah, she pretty much blew a hole in this area. This is where your speed sensor is and your differential. I just got this gear set in here, but that differential actually lives down in there. And the spider gear, she broke one of these little baby spider gears. Either that or she broke this little baby diff pin right here, and then the big boy diff pin started walking and caused one of these gears to come loose, break, shoot it out of here, and then it hit the case and blew a little hole in it. Not this one, but on hers. I haven't pulled hers out yet. But this is a spare transmission that I had here that was that has some burn up clutches in it. So I figured, well, shit, I can pull a bell housing off of this and then the differential off of it, and boom, should be back in business. Now, with that being said, so my idea is to try to get this thing, instead of putting it back together with spider gears, I want to do some type of differential. And I've been talking about that forever. So, and mind you, this transmission lasted 5 years for her running 1280s at 106. 5 years. 5 years. Well, I mean, she started racing in 2020. And of course, the car, it didn't run 12 from the start. It ran like 15s. And first pass was 15. No, her first ET pass was a 16 till she got used to it. Then it was a 15 and a 14 and a 13 and now a 12. So she's come a long way in the 5 years. She's definitely progressed. So it's time to, I got the back half of the transmission working good, the clutch area, drum area, all that stuff. We got all that to stay happy. And now we're having issues, of course, with the differential. So like you fix one thing in one area, and then of course another area is going to need attention eventually. So that's usually how it works. That's racing. Yeah, so my idea is to go with some type of limited slip differential. I was looking into the actual, Traction Concepts makes like a limited slip conversion. It's basically two plates that are spring loaded that go inside the differential right here. So you pull this pin out, right? You slide this pin out. We actually remove this pin first. Take that pin out, and then you remove the differential pin, and those two spring loaded plates slide right in between the axle gears here, and you have set screws that keeps the plates compressed together. So when you install it, put your pin in, what you do is you take those screws out of either side of those plates, and the springs actually open up and press the plates up against these two axle gears here, and it makes positive traction. Now the problem with that is we still have spider gears, so they still can break. So my whole idea was to try to find a differential that I could maybe get it to work in here, or just call Quaife in factory, and see if they can make something for us. It's probably sure to be similar to any other differential, for a front wheel drive transmission. Just depends on what it is. Because the F series and the G series, of course, they don't, the G series manual transmission, I think Quaife and in factory makes an LSD for it. I mean, you can get them all day, but of course the differentials are different. Like this differential right here, if you notice, see how it has a lip. So it's like this ring gear is like, has a recess to it on this side, and then of course it's flat over here. So, and actually kind of raised up a little bit on that side. So the manual transmission one, of course, is not going to work. This is a 24 spline transmission. It's an F series transmission, so it's 24 spline. So with that being said, we're not going to be able to get a 26 spline differential to work in here, because it's going to have a bigger bearing. The race for a 24 spline diff is not going to fit a 26 spline bearing, differential bearing. So it pretty much has to stay F series. The good thing about this is it's not like she leaves at 9,000 RPMs and it's making 1,000 horsepower. You know what I'm saying? So I could probably put this thing right back together, with the open differential, and it'll probably live for another 5 years. I mean, who knows? But while I have the opportunity to pull it down, I want to see what I can do to improve this area, since I've already improved the other area. So the other area of the transmission, like the electrical portion, the clutches, the drums, planetary set, stuff like that, I got everything to work like we wanted to. We got a good valve body. We got a level 10 valve body in it. It's got a level 10 3000 stall converter, and it's got a level 10 transmission pump on it. So we got that portion to work a-okay. But now it's just a matter of getting the differential side right. So I'm going to paste you guys' attention on this for a second, right? So these are basically your pinion gears. This differential is what spins these two. So this differential gear spins this pinion, and then this pinion spins this pinion, which then spins, of course, the transmission. It spins this shaft, and then it'll spin, this drum, in which it'll spin all the, the drum, the clutch packs and everything inside the transmission on the other end. So basically, what I want to do is, like I said, convert this to LSD some type of way. But there's some things I'm gonna have to figure out on that. And then, based upon the research I've been doing, so the Ford probe transmission, which is the F4EAT in the second generation probe GT with the V6 2.5 KL, that transmission has a 416 final drive with the same 1 through 4 gear configuration this has, which is cool, because I really would like to get one of those transmissions here, pull it down, look at it, and see if there's any way I can make those parts. And if I can, that'd be cool. And then I could call, like M Factory or Quaife to see if they can make me LSD with that type of differential. But it's just going to take some trial and error here to figure out what's going to work the best, what's not going to cause me to have to cut the cases up and do all kinds of custom stuff. Really not looking to go that far right now, because the transmission's been working great up to this point. So it's really, I don't feel like there's a need for us to really go crazy on the customization as far as making a bigger diff work, or different set of pinion gears or anything like that, or billet this, billet that. Like like I said, that transmission been working great for 5 years, and we haven't had any problem with it. But like I said, we just had an issue with the differential, last weekend. So, or was it last weekend or weekend before last? I think it was last weekend. Yeah, it was last weekend. So yeah, so that's basically what we got. I just wanted to kind of give everybody an update and let you guys see. I pulled the bell housing off of this spare transmission, and we'll be going back with that bell housing on her transmission, and probably use those gears and this differential. But it's basically going to depend on what it's going to take for me to get this thing to turn 2 axles instead of having one tire fire. And when I say one tire fire, that means only one axle's pulling. So only the passenger side is pulling on this car. So, so when it gets into power, all the power goes to the right side. It's crazy, but being a 24 spline axle, this thing has worked. Being a 24 spline transmission, this thing has worked pretty well. There is nothing bad I can say about this F4EAT transmission. I can't say nothing bad about it. It's been great. It's been a trooper. It's been awesome. I have nothing bad to say about it. It has worked in several setups that we've had. It's just worked. It's worked. We've got a transcooler on it. We've got some upgraded parts in it. We got a trans temp gauge. We can watch a trans temp. We just monitor this transmission, and that's all it really takes, man. Like when you, even in daily driven stuff, you monitor all your equipment, man, and 9 times out of 10 you won't have any issues. This transmission has had a bad reputation for several years, and I think I have proven, or not me, well, me and Jasmine have proven that this transmission is not as bad as everybody says it is. A lot of people are like, well, I just want a 5-speed. 5-speed's better. Yeah, I mean, it's all in preference of what you like and what you want. But we made this automatic work, and we're just gonna keep on making it work. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, so again, just wanted to basically come to you guys and just let you guys see what we had here. Yeah, like I said, that doesn't go there. The differential lives in there, and that's how it sits on this side of the case. But this actually sits over top of the shaft, and these gears flip over the other way. Let me show you all what I'm talking about. So they flip over like that, and that's how they sit in there. Yeah, that's how they sit in the transmission. So yeah, so I just want to basically give you guys an update of what our plans were since the 4EAT the differential came apart on us. So yeah, so like I said, I'm going to be making some phone calls. I really don't want to go with that. That traction concept setup where it just goes in here and just locks the gears together. I want to see if they actually got a diff, a limited slip that they can either fab for me, or something that will work, something I can put together and make work in this case and make work with this gear set here. So let me pull that back off so y'all can see. Well, I don't know if I'm be able to do it now. Nope, gotta put the camera down. It ain't gonna come back up. Not with one hand. So yeah, guys. So that's basically all I wanted to, get on and share with y'all. And again, these 4EAT transmissions are not bad transmissions. People that are having issues with this 4EAT transmission, which comes in a 94 Mazda Protege LX, 91 through 96 Ford Escort GT or LX, 97 through 2004 Escort LX and Escort ZX2. These transmissions are not bad. They've had a bad reputation for years, but that was because of the terrible transcooler setup that they have, and just the fact of the matter that nobody serviced the transmissions at all. They say, like a lot of people say, well, I serviced the transmission and it still went bad. Well, how did the transmission live before you started servicing it? Did you have this car all your life? If not, you really don't know how the transmission lives. People can tell you anything, but when you pull it apart, you'll be able to determine what's going on with it. Like this transmission here, when I pulled the transmission pump off the back and I started pulling it apart, and drums were just fried, clutches were burned up, and that just told me right there. The fluid was nasty. Look, this is basically that's what the fluid looked like, gray metallic, and that's not good at all. So of course I'll be cleaning this bell housing up really good and pulling those I can't remember the name of them things now. It can slip my mind. But yeah, I'll be pulling all this this bell housing and stuff apart, clean out everything, make sure everything is clear, don't have no trash in there, none of that. So yeah, we'll definitely be pulling those apart. But yeah, man. So basically, want to just jump on and let you guys know what our plans were, and what this transmission looks like. With the bell housing off. There's your drum there. Differential that's where the differential lives at, and then of course here's your pinion gears and your input shaft. So yeah. Damn, I can't remember the name of these things, man. I forgot now. It'll come to me after the video's over, or right when I'm talking, and I'm like, oh, they're called those. So yeah, man. So that's basically all I wanted to do, is just jump on and let you guys know what we had going on. And again, 4EAT transmission is not a bad transmission. That's false information. I don't care who says what. And people say, well, I've been working on them things for 30 years, 20, 30 years, and they've just been junked from day one. No, not really. Because we have several vehicles with this transmission in it, and we have zero issues. Prime example, we raced with one for 5 years and didn't really have any problems. We had some clutch issues, and that's basically it. I had a bad drum and didn't know it, and swapped the drum out. Boom, good to go. So it's been great ever since then. So yeah, but this transmission is not a bad tranny. It's actually a pretty durable transmission. This thing held almost 300 horsepower on her car and put her in the 12. So yeah. So and shit, if we was in the 13s with it when it had stock clutches, a stock pump, and a stock valve body. So this transmission, I'm telling y'all, man, these trannies are not as bad as people say they are. So in my opinion, the 4EAT is a great transmission. So I will always defend somebody talking negative about a 4EAT, because I'm living proof, and so is Jasmine. Jasmine is living proof as well. She has a car. She's the one racing it. I built it. So yeah, we know what we know what we got going on over here. We know what we got going on over here, man. We got a pretty good program. So we've had really good success with this transmission, and we're going to continue to use it. So all right, man. So I appreciate everybody coming on and watching my videos and stuff. Do me a favor, man. Please like, subscribe, share. We don't have an audience with we don't have a YouTube channel without an audience, man. So and also, as always, if anybody's got any questions, or they feel like I didn't cover something and they want to understand a little bit better, feel free to reach out to me. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and I appreciate the people that have been reaching out to me, so I can help them out. So again, I'll be getting on the phone with some companies and see what they can do for this transmission, LSD wise. And if we can get an LSD in this thing, her car will pick up some ET for sure. Definitely pick up some ET. So again, thank you guys, and really appreciate you guys, supporting our channel. We're doing our best to put the most detailed, content out we can. And again, if there's something you guys want me to try to cover, let me know. I'll try my best to put it together. I've already had somebody ask me to do like a complete tutorial on tearing down a transmission, a whole entire video on pulling a transmission completely apart, and of course, and then putting it back together too, just like I did for the manual G series. So All right, everybody. Thank you so very much. I appreciate y'all. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. And I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their Sunday. And if you're watching football, I hope your team wins today. Whoever's playing, I don't even know who's playing. I guess I'll find out when I get home. So, all right, everybody. Catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace out.